Take Zelda minus the combat. Add Stardew Valley with only a little bit of farming, and you'd end up with something like Lonesome Village. Lonesome Village follows Wes the Coyote on his quest to climb the evil puzzle tower and free all of the people encased in stone statues in order to cultivate the ruined village nearby. Well, we better save the library owl first. No joke, the first villager that you can save is an owl that lives in the town library. I was really tickled. Who builds their village near an ancient culty tower? Who grabbed absolutely everyone in town, men, women, and children alike, and turned them into statues? Who decided that coyote coins were going to be the currency? Stop asking questions, that's who. Lonesome Village, on its surface, is baby's first Zelda game, with some Animal Crossing mixed in. It lacks enemies to fight and there's no combat to speak of, but the tower and the surrounding countryside are full of things to do, and you better bring pen and paper because Wes is gonna have a long list of things that he needs to take care of, and the game doesn't have a quest journal, so be ready to write some things down. The main currency of the game, besides coyote coins, is hearts, which you earn by doing little quests and favors for the villagers. Think like Super Mario collecting the power stars. You don't really spend them, but they do open doors for you. Most hearts are as simple as single item fetch quests, but others are more distinctive. Take the town bank, for example. If you want the 3 hearts you can get at the bank from the bank teller, you need a fat savings account. Dropping several hundred coyote coins into your bank account will fill up his hearts pretty quickly. The same goes for the other businesses in town. Just spend some money there and they'll not only like you, but start carrying more stuff for you to buy. Kind of like in real life. Anyway, what kinds of things do you buy and sell in a game with no combat? Well, that's where we get into the absolutely wild amount of stuff that this village has going on in it. You can customize your own house, start farming, collect books, make your own furniture, go mining for metals and gems, chop down trees, pick berries in the woods, play several musical instruments, and run errands for pretty much everyone. Heck, you can buy and wear a dress if you want to. Wes isn't shy about that. The gameplay loop is pretty simple. Do puzzles in the tower until you need more hearts or a certain offering to open the next door, and go down into the village to do errands and side quests until you have what you need. The Life-Sim part of the game is the bread and butter, and the tower itself is just the measuring stick for how far you've progressed in the main story. Though there are a ton of hearts for you to earn, somewhere around 100, I think, you only actually need about 30 of them to reach the top of the tower and finish the main story. This is to the game's strength, so you can always be doing something that you want to do, rather than doing everything so the stuff you don't want to do feels like a chore. The villager species and walk of life representation was actually pretty impressive too. They thought to put one villager in a wheelchair, and there's even a nice lesbian couple that lives near the edge of town. It's the little touches like that that really make the place come alive. These villagers aren't just copy-pastes of each other that walk around depending on what time of day it is. I think my favorite was the gravekeeper. He thinks that the cemetery is the most beautiful place in the village since he maintains it like a beautiful park, and even asks you to bring him flowers so that he can decorate and make it look even nicer. Cemeteries shouldn't be scary, after all. That's where you visit the honored dead. So, all that praise aside, there are a few bumps in the road here. While Lonesome Village certainly spoils you for choice when it comes to things to do, especially since you need so few hearts compared to how many there actually are, there are some problems here, most of which have to do with quality of life questions that sort of just piled up over time for me. Why is the inventory system so incredibly borked? Farming with this is just the worst. You have to open the menu, select the shovel, dig the hole, open the menu, select the seeds, bury the seeds, open the menu, select the watering can, water the crops. Even doing this for a single plant takes way, way too long. This game badly needs either hotkeys or a radial menu so items can be quickly selected because you carry a lot of crap with you and it takes forever to get to what you want. If I have an instrument and a magic song that can make it rain, why can't I water my crops with it? That seems like the first thing you'd want to do in a game that has both farming and a magic rain song, but maybe that's just me. Why is there no quest log? There are dozens of villagers with 3 quests each, and it can be a lot to keep track of, especially in an area this big. Who wants what and where they are can be very confusing if you're just wandering around talking to everyone. Also, if I bust my adorable fuzzy behind to gather up the raw materials needed to make a bed for my house, why can't I sleep in my bed? You have to pay the village inn 10 coyote coins to turn it from night to day, or vice versa. This essentially makes your house into a sticker book, minus the mirror where you can change outfits and the chest where you can store your extra items. But if the house itself lacks the functionality of the furniture in it, it's just a waste of your time and coyote coins. Most, if not all, of Lonesome Village's problems can be called quality of life issues. It really drags the game down from what it could have been. But there is a little something extra, and that is the language of the village. In the tower, there are hidden messages here and there, written in a strange coded message. And while it wasn't immediately obvious how to translate it, a quick, breezy walk around the village taught me a thing or two. Almost every building is labeled, such as the inn, the bank, the general store, etc., etc. Subbing out letters for symbols, you can use process of elimination to get the last few letters in a very basic alphabet. If you want to know what really happened that ended up with everyone being sealed in a statue before you got to work, it's time for you to get to work in those books. Honestly, I had a blast figuring out the codes and translating them, both in the tower and around the world. There's a lot of extra little hidden things that you can only reach or do if you're able to translate the runic alphabet. Fun stuff. Anyway, Lonesome Village is an honest effort to mash Animal Crossing, Zelda, and Stardew Valley together into its own little furry puzzler adventure. It's laid back, relaxing, and plagued by quality of life issues, but I definitely picked this one up. On the official Library Owl Feather scale, I'd give it a 6 out of 10, slightly above average, and the furry seal of approval. I had a lot of fun talking with all the villagers, uncovering treasures, translating codes, and climbing the tower full of puzzles to save people. It's colorful, charming, and has a serious heart of gold. I can really tell a lot of love and effort went into this game. I'd say check it out.